you guys. Welcome back. Today we are doing another uncut get ready with me, and this is at the request of the video that I just did last week, which is a 10-minute makeup routine, how to use some multitasking products and to create a monochromatic palette so that you can always nail your makeup really fast with few steps and minimal products. And in that video, which I will drop in the description so we're not rehashing the whole thing, the overall look that I created was with kind of a nude, a bit of a bronzy tone look. And since then, I've had a request for two more. And one of those we're gonna do today. The one that we're gonna do today, the request was something soft and peach for the summer. So that is the look that we are gonna do together today. So if that is something that you wanna catch, let's dive right in. A very short recap, when we're talking minimal multi-use products, that included my skin prep. So I did prep already with my milky toner and my tinted sunscreen. I like to use a tinted sunscreen, and this is just personal preference for me because it really does blur my skin and adds a little bit of illumination and glow, which lets me overall use less products because the redness in my skin, some of those sunspots, age spots, hyperpigmentation that I am dealing with already starts to diminish a little bit. But if that is not for you, just grab your favorite silicone-free sunscreen if you're gonna be using Saint makeup for this look and get started with a hydrated base, your sunscreen on, and ready to roll into your products. The other thing that I did, and I did all of this already off camera because the key to this working fast is to get this done and allow it to sink into the skin for 15 to 20 minutes so your sunscreen film formers can set onto the skin and then everything has dried down as it should before you start your makeup application. I have already also prepped my perfector sponge so that bad boy is ready to go to make sure that we do not have an excess of product on the skin. Now, when we're creating a monochromatic palette, when we're thinking, what can I use in different places? I am generally going to stick to a color corrector because I want coverage in this look, a foundation shade, a dual purpose bronzer that includes an illuminator in it, maybe a couple of lip and cheeks, one that is matte and one that has a little bit more glow. I'm gonna also use these products to create the base of my eye look. And then I'm simply gonna have a couple of extras if I wanna do any more. You could live off just this level of the palette, and all of this is magnetized and customized for you, so you can pick and choose what you like. So if you are an easy, simple girly and you wanna do the same look every day and nail it, then go ahead and consider maybe just creating one of these monochromatic palettes with a couple of eyeshadows that are in those same tones as the base products that you're putting on your face. I have a powder here to set, and then I did grab my cherry lip conditioner, which I do believe the lip conditioners, which were on final sale, I do believe they're all gone. But since I pulled mine out, I can't stop using it. Do you ever forget about a makeup product and then you find it and you're like, oh, I've missed you? That is exactly how I feel about my cherry conditioner and my Saint perfume. I do have an eyebrow wax here and a half brush cleaning tile just so I can use minimal brushes for this makeup look. Speaking of, oh, man down, man down. Speaking of minimal brushes, I am gonna do one brush for the eyebrows. This is the line spoolie brush. One brush for the lips, that's the multitasker. You could use your finger, but I do want to line my lips. One eyeshadow brush, one full face brush. We're gonna do the entire face with this. And then I am gonna use the powder brush to set. You can also use a small poof if this guy is discontinued by the time that you're ready to grab one, because they are discontinuing that. So let's jump into this makeup look. I am gonna start with my color corrector since I'm using minimal brushes here and we already grabbed a few. I'm just gonna go ahead and color correct with the warmth of my finger. If you are somebody that does not like to touch your face, you can go ahead and grab the small end of like a detail brush or the blend brush, whatever your preference is. But I'm just gonna go ahead and blend this in with my finger. A little bit of redness here, and we will do this video like primarily uncut. So I'll show you the entire application without any speed through, maybe minus mascara, because can you drop in the comments below, do you like watching mascara application or do you just like to see the final, kind of the final look? I guess it probably depends on whether or not someone's reviewing an actual mascara. I have so many mascaras that I'm always testing and reviewing, and I keep coming back to my Lash Growth Serum mascara because I have sparse brows and sparse lashes since having kids, and my lashes are just continually falling out. Like every 4 months we go through a shedding process, and before I found a lash growth mascara that worked, oh my gosh, not only were they like so sparse, there were holes, but they were also breaking all the time. So anyways, this is the small end of my blush and bronzer brush, and I'm still using a little bit of color corrector. This is a personal preference for me. I find with Saint makeup and in general, when I'm talking multi-use products, like one of the other like keys for me is getting this all out of one palette. So if I can get a color corrector and color correct my eyes and use that as the base of an eye primer, then I can reduce the redness on my cheeks and the darkness under my eyes. Then that's a 2-for-1 for me. I find with this makeup that I get the best wear when I use a color corrector on the darkest points in my face. I know this is, I think, 5 years of me wearing this makeup now. I know that if I don't color correct, the darkest points in my face will show throughout the day. And for somebody who is looking for lasting coverage, that's kind of not what I'm hoping my makeup's gonna do. So I know that's different than what you see from a lot of Saint artists, but that's just my preferred way of doing it. And if you're struggling with the longevity of your makeup, it very well could be that you, generally speaking, have the wrong colors, but also that you're not matching the darkest points of your face first. Do you have to do that with all other makeups? No, but makeups all kind of have their own nuances to them, and that is one of the nuances to Saint. Now, if you're looking for something that's super light coverage and you're gonna have kind of your discoloration and whatnot popping through anyways, you're just looking to purely even out the skin tone, then you can likely skip that step. But when I think of light, like just blurring my skin, that would be no different to me than kind of using what I used for my sunscreen, something that gave it a little bit of blur. So there we go. I just took my main highlight shade, popped that right over top, and now we are done with the foundation component of this 10-minute look. I'm now gonna squeeze this brush and I'm gonna go in to my contour. And obviously every step is optional, right? It's your makeup routine. But when it's all in this palette, I find it so simple to do more with less time because I'm not looking around trying to figure out, all right, where did I put that bottle? Like even finding my sunscreen today, I was like, what did I do with it? And then I realized it was in my bathroom drawer because I had used a non-tinted one yesterday and put it away. But like when it's all right here, that's the most challenging thing you have to do is open and close your palette. It is definitely one of my favorite things about why I started using this makeup, because I could do it in my car, in car line. I was dropping kids off and never actually have to go without anything. Like even my eyebrows are gonna come out of here today. All right, I just contoured the jaw a little bit. Now I'm gonna go right into that eyebrow brush, and I did color correct. Ooh, I should do my brows real quick before we start putting any real eye makeup on here. So I did color correct my eyes with my Mango color corrector. That is my color corrector. Your color corrector will be based on both your skin tone and the discoloration that you are trying to correct. So that's not something that you can just simply say like, oh, this is for everybody. There is no like universal answer. Everything is individually color matched. It's why I recommend you don't get the quiz online. I know Saint has introduced an online quiz, but it doesn't take into consideration how you like to wear your makeup. So there's a big difference in application style for somebody who likes light coverage versus somebody who likes full coverage. There's also a big difference with how you layer or don't, and that has a lot to do with what your discoloration needs are, whether it's dark under eyes, which might be blue or purple, versus redness on the cheeks. There's a lot that goes into it, and that is why I highly recommend that when you're using this makeup, you go through an artist and you get a customized color match, because color is everything with makeup, and particularly if you're talking about having to take care of discoloration on the skin. Obviously, that's different than your skin tone. The way that you match yourself online is to look at faces and come on, Saint, we could do a little bit better. There are no mature skin faces currently on there. And most of those folks, it looks like the lighting is very different. I just find it to be not the most ideal way to go about purchasing the makeup when the color match is free to you. Like, you might as well get it at the highest level of service that you can so that you're not trying to learn both a new makeup type and like wondering if your colors are correct. So that's just my little tidbit. Okay, we got brows done there. I did use my contour as my mid-tone matte shade. As somebody with hooded eyes, I do need to use something that is matte in the crease because we are playing the game of shadow and light when we're creating an eye look. And the areas that we put lighter, maybe things that have a little bit of a reflective quality in them, those are gonna pop forward. And what I don't wanna do is pop forward the hood of my eye. I actually want it to recede. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this to carve out the crease. I've already used that same contour around the perimeter. Let's actually, while we're here, use the multitasker, get really efficient and contour the lips right now too. Guys, we've had so much rain. It looks like there's another storm coming in as I'm filming this. I film in front of natural light so that you can see what like real skin without studio lighting looks like and what color actually looks like on the skin, which I feel like when you're looking at lip and cheeks and blushes and eyeshadows, it's so much more, it's of a greater service to the customer if you're actually showing the color as it is, not as it's been altered by studio lighting. So even on my bad days with my skin, you're always gonna get the real deal here. Okay, we've contoured out the lips, the eyes, and the face. I'm gonna go ahead and use that same small end here, or I could use the small end of the line spoolie brush. And I'm going to add a little bit of contour to my brows, just where they are super sparse. My favorite brow product is from Refi. It's a tinted brow gel, but it is an extra out of palette product, if you will. And for these simple monochromatic looks that we're doing, the goal is to multitask our products as much as possible. So now I'm gonna go back to the blush and bronzer brush, and I'm going right into Xanadu bronzer, which does have a combination of our Bella bronzer, which is our most universal and definitely most popular bronzer. It mixes that with Glow Illuminator, which is, honest to God, something that I was doing before, way before, years before this even came out. But this Bella bronzer and Xanadu is a combination of Bella and Glow Illuminator mixed for you. Uh-oh, my son's calling me, hang on. He was just letting me know that all of his friends are here, and if it starts to storm, they're gonna go in his bedroom and play basketball, which is right on the other side there. And it's one of those hoops on the back of the door. Do you guys remember those? I was like, oh yeah, we can't do that while I'm putting this video together because it sounds like someone's coming through the wall. So anyways, there we go. That is our Xanadu. If you don't like any sort of sheen, and you'll see, this is not glittery or glowy. I shouldn't say glowy. This is not glittery. It is a little bit glowy. It just has a little bit of a sheen to it. And if that is not your thing, then go ahead and just stick to like Bella on its own or whatever color you feel is best for your skin tone. But another 2-in-1 product that we can just knock out another step with. Now I'm gonna take that same bronzer, going in the crease, going under the eye to start some continuity in our eye look. If you've ever struggled with, like, why does your eye makeup look off from maybe your blush? If you need some continuity in your makeup, go ahead and pull your bronzer shade, whether that's powder, whether that's cream, and add it to your eye look, just so that you have something that's flowing all the way through. And it really will make your look so cohesive with like one easy step. So right there, we could be done because we've color corrected our eyes. So the base color on the eyelid is very neutral. We've carved it out. But for the purposes of creating kind of a complete look, I'm now gonna take Daylily, which is going to be my lip and cheek base today. And I'm gonna go ahead and put that on the lid. And it is a neutral. This is one that is going to be discontinued, so I would grab it while you can if you like this. It is a neutral that has a bit of a pink and a peach base to it, and it is absolutely lovely. So it's a little bit warmer and a little bit more summery than the nude that we'd used, but it still keeps the eye in a very neutral like starting point, as it will on the cheeks. This is also a great base shade if you are somebody who likes to just add a little pop of color to your cheek, and then you like these glosses like Desert Sunset, Sunshine State, gosh, what else? There are so many. Candy. If you're somebody who likes to add like a pop of that glow with a gloss, but you don't want a full gloss cheek, Daylily is a great blush to be kind of the base of layering your blushes. I really like to layer mine and kind of get the full look that I'm going for by sandwiching things together until I like kind of the complete outcome that we have. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wipe off that Daylily and just clean up my jawline there. There we go. Now, typically I would have already used my Perfector sponge, but I have been waiting until some of this layering started for this monochromatic process because I'm not using any brightener. I wanna make sure, or concealer in traditional makeup land, I wanna make sure that this line right here is really seamless. Because usually I can go in with a brightener and really clean that up, but if we're skipping that step, then we can't do that. Before I go in to that glossy shade, which is Desert Sunset, I'm gonna take one last look and see if there's anywhere else. This is just my main highlight shade where I feel like I could bridge this together a little bit better. There we go. So I definitely removed excess from any areas that I'm prone to crease, like my smile lines, my under eyes, and then I made sure nothing was too heavy along the jawline. If you see, this is the excess that I took off. This is one of the key steps to getting your makeup to not only look photoshopped, but also to remove any excess that would ultimately end up feeling cakey or tacky. So I highly recommend that anybody uses the Perfector with this makeup, but specifically if you are going to layer your makeup. I think it's an absolute must in my experience. All right, so now I'm gonna take some Daylily. We've already contoured the lip. Now we've used this on the cheeks, the base of the eye, and the base of our lip look. Now we're gonna go ahead and let's set the face and set the eyes and add some powder over top. So we're gonna do that by generously, I'm being very generous on my eye. I am somebody who has a hooded eye. So I need to get this into any area where we may be prone to creasing, which is obviously where I have my hood, but also I have like some additional creases like right in here where I have like a flap. And with a cream on the eye, which is what we have so far, those will start to really migrate if I don't set that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna one tap at a time, set the T-zone of my face and definitely my under eye. This makeup is not self-setting, so it's really easy to blend. You don't have to work quickly with it, but you do need to go in and set it with a setting powder to help hold it in place. And the vanilla dust is so easy and translucent and obviously fits in the palette that it does a really great job if you're somebody who just needs a simple and effective setting powder. Now, if you're looking to like super lock in your makeup or you have very oily skin, then I can make another recommendation for you. But this is one of the very few setting powders I use that does not cause my under eyes to crease, and it doesn't immediately make me look like 20 years older. Have you ever picked up a setting powder and you put it on and it like ruins your entire makeup look because instantly you just feel like you've aged tremendously? That is my struggle. Let's go ahead and now set the eyes and add a little bit of additional depth to them. This right here is Chai, so I'm going over that area, outer corner and up above the crease. That is where we had our contour and our bronzer. Same brush. I literally just swirl it in here. That's our brush cleaning tile. And there we go. Again, we could be done right here, but I am gonna go into Crush. I'm going to add a little bit of Crush to the lid. This does have a reflective quality to it. It is a shimmer. It is one of my absolute favorites. This is not my first one, and you'll see I've already hit pan on that. But when you have a hooded eye or mature eye, don't be afraid to use a shimmer. Just keep it on the lid. That will actually pop your lid out. And as long as you have a mid-tone matte on the crease, that will make it recede. So your eye overall will actually look bigger. Now you can be done with a 2-shade look there, or I did grab Foxy, which is just a personal favorite of mine. I believe it is in the 50% off, hopefully it's not gone yet, category. And I'm gonna go ahead and pack this into the outer corner, simply adding 1 shade here, and then we'll blend it in to add a little bit of depth. Because we've already used some base creams, you could set that and be done and just have a very soft look. But if you want something a little bit more, then this is a nice monochromatic multi-use palette for you for sure. There we go. It's soft. It has that peachy undertone that was requested for the summer. I am going to add a little bit of my Desert Sunset. This is a gloss, and you will see it has a little bit more of that corally peach to it. So this is gonna be kind of one of my finishing touches here to add a little bit of the requested like summery glow. And a little bit, deepen that peach tone a little bit, if you will. And now you'll see how Daylily serves as a really nice base, and you can put your shades over it to just build up that depth. You hear the kids playing outside. That is one of my favorite things of summer, is like it used to be when we were kids, when my kids don't have camps and they can just get together with their friends in the neighborhood. They are outside for hours. I feel like a lot of that is lost with so many of us working these days. Okay, there we go. That is Daylily with Desert Sunset on top. You could use the flat end of your multitasker. I am gonna go back into my contour and add a little bit more depth to the lip. Just carve that out a little bit more. If you want something a little bit more long wearing, grab your favorite like long wearing lip liner. But our contour will do a very similar job to what you get from like your Merit shading sticks or the new ones from Rode that are called the contour sticks. None of them are super long wearing, but they're really meant more to create depth and contour than they are to serve as like a more of a harsher lip liner. So there we go. I am now going to grab my Perfector sponge. I'm gonna squeeze it together and get some rose gold illuminator with the Saint perfume. It's under the solid perfume section. I think they still have a 50% off tab. The 25 and 40% off sale has ended, so we are just at the last chance 50% off. So these items will be here until they are gone, or July 31st, whatever comes first. Okay, flip this, tap, tap. Now we have just a little bit of additional glow, which I really like. I'm gonna use this to pop out the Cupid's bow. I'm gonna put it in between and on the tip of the nose. And because I don't have anything very light, like a drift or a cupcake, Sabrina, Rome, I'm gonna go ahead and use that under the brow and right here on the tear duct. And now I am gonna go ahead and do my mascara, curl my lashes, and show you the final look with our monochromatic in that like soft summer peach tones. And this is it. This is our final makeup look using our monochromatic technique in kind of that soft summer peachy tone family. So if you guys ever have requests for certain types of looks, or you want to learn certain techniques, always feel free to drop them in the comments, to shoot me an email, my newsletter, the previous video on like this 10-minute makeup look that includes kind of the prep work behind all of this and multitasking products kind of broken down a little bit more. All of that is in the description. On my eyes, I just used my lash growth serum and my Saint Tubing mascara. Again, everything we talked about will be linked below. So always feel free to reach out. Always feel free to check out the description box so that you have all the details that you need to kind of incorporate whatever products or techniques into your routine really suit you. As always, thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you found today's video helpful, and we will see you again soon.